You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, isn't it?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. It is Thursday, July 31st. And I'm back. We are back. Off the Air is officially back. A fantastic vacation that I just got done taking with my family, a family vacation. I have to, before I start, give my wife a ton of credit. One, for putting up with me, but two, for putting together everything she puts together when it comes to these family vacations. She's brilliant. She's a genius. I say it all the time, and I truly mean it when it comes to our vacations. Another fantastic vacation. My oldest son, Charlie, helps out a ton with it. I literally have no idea what we're doing as we go out. I know the area and the direction we're going. And we'll talk more about the vacation. Pat Anger will join us tomorrow. So we'll catch up on what we did and some of the fun that we had out on vacation. We went to Maine, to Acadia National Park, then went down to Boston for a few days, Cape Cod for a day and a night, and then to New York City. New York City's a trip. I've been there before. I went to New York City in 2016 to cover the Iowa basketball team. Greg Armstrong and myself went out there. So we were mainly in Brooklyn and covering basketball. We went over to Times Square and did a few things like that, but nothing crazy. And this time, just immersed in it. It was interesting. It was a ton of fun. But here's the big problem. The problem that we had was when we got done with the trip and coming back home, we didn't get back into Chicago last night till 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30. So drove home after that, which was good. And we enjoyed that. We did a good job with that. Came home and there was some water in the basement, not even rain related, but a pipe and all this kind of nonsense. So long story short is I usually have like my intro, my rundown of everything we're going to do and everything. And I'm on like 2 hours of sleep, but we do have a ton of stuff to get to today. We're really excited about it. If you're watching us live don't feel bad, by the way. Everything's good. Everything's rocking and rolling. We're all doing good and stuff. But we got a lot to get to today. And then I'm really excited to be back from vacation. A show today, a show tomorrow. Everything's packed, ready to go. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling next week. We got a ton to get to, a ton of exciting announcements to get to as well. But first and foremost, if you're watching on social media or if you're watching on YouTube, we thank you for that. If you haven't subscribed, please do so ASAP. We're also live on X as well. X has been very, very good to us. And then don't forget, you can check us out on all the podcasting platforms. If you go to Spotify, iHeart, any place that you get your podcast from, you can check out Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, the audio form, so you don't have to look at me. So anyways, some exciting times for the show coming up. I'm excited to announce kind of off the top that next Friday, August 8th, 1 week from today, or 1 week from tomorrow, Friday, August 8th, Off the Air is going on the road. And we are going to be live from Iowa Football Media Day, from this practice field behind the football complex. A big announcement there as well, announcement there as well about the football season and myself, and it should be a ton of fun. But also, Pat Anger will be with me. We'll catch up with some players. We'll have some players come over, maybe get Coach Ferentz to sneak over and sit down with us for a little bit. So a big show coming up next Friday. Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, live from Iowa Football Media Day from the practice field at the University of Iowa. Really excited about that. So we'll have more on that as we continue the rest of this week and then next week as well. Super excited about that. It's going to be a ton of fun. We've taken the show on the road 2-3 times We probably had 4 or 5 shows on the road, and everything has gone well. So we're excited about that as well. So make sure you mark that on your calendar. August 8th, next Friday, live from Iowa Football Media Day. But as for today, a lot to get to. So when I'm out east, I'm always checking in on what's going on here in the Quad Cities. The Bix was delayed because of rain, all that crazy stuff. But baseball-wise, high school baseball-wise, I was captivated with the Bettendorf baseball team. We had Coach Hannah on right before we took our little hiatus, them going back to state for the first time in like 23 years, something like that. And watched them do great things. A runner-up finish at state, one in the quarterfinals, one in the semifinals, lost the state championship game, second place state finish. So coming up here in a little bit, 2 other standouts, Max Davison and Wrigley Matthys, the MAC Baseball Player of the Year, will join us to talk about the Bulldogs' fantastic run to the state tournament and then to the state championship game. Also, if you've been driving in Moline and you've noticed there's work being done on Browning Field. Browning Field's going to look a lot different this year. New field turf, it's almost done. Mike Morrissey will be here later in hour 1 to talk about it, the head coach from Moline. I think he told me before we did the show earlier that I want to say that he thought it'd be completely done by tomorrow. So it looks awesome. So we'll talk about that and then start talking about high school football season. We are less than a month away. Practices open up August 11th and first games are August 29th. So high school football season right around the corner, less than a month away. We'll get caught up with Mike Morrissey, talk Western Big Six football coming up later on here in hour number 1 of the show. And hour number 2, efforting, hoping to chat Steam Wheeler football. The Wheelers back in the postseason, but more importantly, back at home for the postseason. They wrapped up the number 1 seed last weekend, so they're back home this weekend. They're going to win this weekend, maybe back home next weekend as well. But Saturday, 3 o'clock, Vibrant Arena, get down, support the Wheelers. We'll talk all about them as they get ready for their first home playoff game since 2007. 18 years, which is crazy because it's such a successful program. I mean, an organization. They were in the championship game 4 years ago, something like that. But it's been a while since they've made that road through the playoffs here at home. And that's what exactly they're going to get to do. We'll talk Wheelers, hopefully be joined by one of them coming up in a little bit as well. Hour number 2 of the show around 11 o'clock. So a ton to get to. I want to thank you guys for joining back in once again. Like I mentioned, we had a show last Monday. We had 2 best of shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we're off Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. But back here today, full show today. Great show lined up tomorrow. Pat Anger on the show tomorrow. Greg Armstrong on the show tomorrow. Still working on a few more fun guests as well. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling coming up next week. Football season is right around the corner. Also, it's the Major League Baseball trade deadline. So we will keep an eye on what the Cubs may be doing. The Brewers, unfortunately, may be doing. Cardinals trading some people off, all that kind of stuff as well. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout today's show as well. Always busy as well. And then there's football tonight. There is NFL football tonight, and they involve the mighty Detroit Lions. My guy Dan Campbell and company in the Hall of Fame game. You will not see any of their good players, and they have a ton of good players. When I travel, I get caught up on my Lions stuff, and man, I'm excited about the NFL season. I got thoughts on Caleb Williams. We'll get to those tomorrow. I got thoughts on Ben Johnson, not just hating thoughts, being a Lions fan. I got thoughts on the Lions as well. People forget that Aiden Hutchinson, in my opinion, a top 5 defensive player in football. Maybe he was on course to be the defensive player of the year. Was gone last year. He's back this year, looks better than ever. Man, I just can't wait for football season. It's going to be a ton of fun. But before we get to football season, we have to wrap up some baseball talk as well. And man, it was such a special summer for Bettendorf and the baseball team led by Blake Hanna and company. So joining me now, fresh off a fantastic run at the state tournament, Bettendorf, 2 Bettendorf seniors, Max Davison and Wrigley Matthys joining me right now. Boys, first and foremost, thank you guys for doing this. Wrigley, I'll start with you. It's been a few days now since that crazy week in Sioux City. Has it sunk in what you guys got to accomplish and what you guys experienced last week?
Yeah, I think it's just starting to now sink in. I don't think anybody, kind of all the schools around us, thought we could have a chance at state, and to do what we did, it was pretty awesome. It was a really fun week.
Absolutely. Not just to get to state, but to do some damage when you got there. Max, before we talk about the state run, getting there was crazy. It's been a long time. It's 23 years, 25 years, something like that, since you guys had been to state. And to do it the way you did it with a walk-off winner, what was that like, just getting to state and kind of ending that drought for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a surreal moment. I mean, Sean with the walk-off, he did a great job, but in that dog pile, it kind of didn't feel like we were going to state. It kind of just felt like we won. And then once it kind of clicked we were going to state, it was a really fun moment.
That kind of stuff can give momentum. Baseball's a funny game. You guys both know it. It's a vibe game. It's a momentum type of game. It's a momentum type of sport. Wrigley, did you guys feel like you had some momentum going to state? And you mentioned it like you're the 8th seed. I don't know how many people expect you guys to go across the state and win game 1 even against the number 1 seed from Sioux City. What was the mindset going across the state, knowing that there was probably plenty of doubters out there as well still?
Yeah, I think as soon as we won, I think we kind of knew we were going to get Sioux City East. I think everybody on the team, I think that was the best matchup we could have got. We kind of wanted to play them. They play on the east side or the west side of the state. We play the east side. So it's like we've never kind of met at all. So it was really fun to kind of get to play them for the first time, I guess.
Max, you look at it too. To be able to do what you guys did, and you go across the state, and that place was packed. I mean, they had a home field advantage. Sometimes that can rally a team. What was it like to go in there, being the underdog, being the 8th seed, and being the visitor? I mean, you guys were the visitor. What was that like? Did you embrace that role as the underdog, the enemy almost, the bad guy?
Yeah, I feel like we for sure did that. It was kind of a ongoing joke throughout the week on our team that we refer to our team as the bad boys of the tournament. Like, we refer to us as the 89 Pistons, if you get that reference, but just kind of the bad boys, like the villains. And we definitely embraced the role and kind of accepted it.
Yes, Max, I get that because I lived that reference. I was alive. I'm old, so I do remember that very well. Max Davison and Wrigley Matthys join me right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. So you guys get that thrilling victory, a close victory against the top seed. Moving on to the semifinals, obviously, if you're going to win one, you might as well win a bunch of them. What was the vibe going into the semifinals? Because obviously you guys are playing some really good baseball at this point too as well, right?
Yeah. I think there was a little nerves going into the first game just with the crowd and everything. But I think going to the semifinals, I think everybody was a lot more kind of mellowed down, and like we knew we had a chance to go to the state championship, and I think we were all very confident in that game.
Max, you guys do a little late inning heroics. It was one of those Bettendorf baseball games to win that semifinal. Kind of talk about that as well, because you guys did it, and you did it in dramatic ways a lot, and you did it in come from behind ways, and that was the way it was in the semifinals. What was that like to continue to play that type of baseball and find ways to win?
Well, I mean, obviously it was a great time. Super, like, still kind of doesn't feel real, but I mean, our guys never give up. I mean, for Trey Akers, for example, there was a miscommunication, maybe a little mental error early in the game, and he was pretty down about it. It's for us 2 big RBIs and win us that game. So it's kind of the next one mentality on our team, and I think that's huge for our success this year.
Wrigley, what was the thought process going into the state championship? Were you guys loose? Were you guys – did you feel the big stage? Kind of take me through that championship game, the moments before it, the hours before it. How'd you guys prepare? How'd you feel?
I honestly don't think we were that nervous. I think everybody's kind of loose. I know we kind of had the entire mentality the entire week. It's like we have nothing to lose. We're technically, based on our seed, not supposed to be here. So we kind of just played free. We played fast. We didn't have any pressure on our back.
Max, to play that championship game, not come out the way you wanted to come on the scoreboard, but to know what you guys accomplished. What was that like? Because no one likes losing, and I get a state championship was the ultimate goal, but you guys had to walk off that field knowing that you did something the program hasn't done in a long, long time, and you had a lot to be proud of. What was the balancing act between those two type of things?
For sure. I mean, obviously it was tough losing, but I mean, you're gonna run into a good arm in the championship, and we were proud of ourselves, just kind of trying our best to create a more winning culture in Bettendorf baseball, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And it's been a great, successful program. I was surprised, Wrigley, when I heard that it hadn't been to state in that long. What's this program been like? Because you guys have had plenty of success, and to be that group, that senior class, Coach Hanna was on the show before you guys went to state and talked about how close these seniors were. What's it mean as a senior class, Wrigley, to leave that legacy and maybe take this program that next step for future years to come?
It feels good. Like you just said, our entire senior class is very close. We hang out, on and off the field. But, to leave, I guess, the culture like in a better spot than we first got there feels good. You have the younger guys to see us. We're able to do it, and it kind of gives them, I guess, motivation to do that as well.
Max, I want to talk to you about that head coach of yours, because Coach Hanna is a good dude. He's a good baseball coach. What did that guy mean to what you guys accomplished this year and what you guys got done this year?
Yeah, he meant a lot to us. I mean, he cared about us. He would go to bat for us. There was never a doubt with him, never a doubt with anyone on the team. So we can credit him with a lot of our success as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Max Davison and Wrigley Matthys joining him right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. I want to talk to both of you guys about your journey to where you got to, and both of you guys are going to play college baseball, which I think is exciting. But I'm entrenched in youth baseball. I got 4 young boys. I know the pluses of it. I know the minuses of it, and I don't listen a lot to Pat Anger. It's somebody you shouldn't listen to a lot. But he did post something the other day. Wrigley, you're the conference player of the year. And you weren't a majors baseball player growing up. You were playing baseball and getting better at whatever level you thought was best for you. Kind of talk about your journey to getting to where you're at, because so much of youth baseball is focused on where you're playing and who you're playing with. What was your thought process growing up?
It was just having fun. I played baseball growing up, I think, till I was 13, with just the guys on my Southeast Little League team, just having fun every weekend. It was just, kind of like that.
Max, talk about that as well, because same thing with you. What was your goal growing up? Because I keep telling people this ultimate goal is to play in a state championship game, not to be on a certain team when you're a certain age. What was your journey growing up baseball-wise like?
Well, yeah, I played AA my whole life. Had the same coach for 6-7 years, and I can credit him a lot. He's almost raised me to be a good young man, but all about that. And the big turning point for me is when, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't go your way. And once I kind of accepted that, it's kind of where I matured a little bit in the game.
Absolutely. And next thing you know, you're playing for a state championship in Sioux City. Let's talk about that travel real quick. Have some fun a little bit. Wrigley, it's exciting to go to state, and then you go to Sioux City, and you're like, what the? I got to go 5.5 hours where? What was the whole traveling journey like? Because it's the long road trip and that kind of stuff, but I think sometimes that can bring a team closer together. Kind of talk about the trip part of it and going 5.5 hours away or whatever it was.
Yeah, the trip itself was pretty bad. But we did a senior, I guess, van where we kind of put all the seniors together. And it was a lot of fun. We had a good time with it, and we kind of made the best out of it.
Max, will you remember some of the off the field stuff about that trip just as much? Don't get yourself in trouble or say anything you did anything stupid, but was it about being with these guys one last time, these seniors one last time, and having some fun on the road?
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome. Made a lot of memories. Just hanging out in the hotel. We were playing poker with sugar packets as chips, just kind of making the best of the tournament with our downtime, and our buddy Noah jumping in the pool from the big rock in the hotel, just kind of messing around, having fun, but obviously getting the job done and winning some games while we're there.
All right. So poker with sugar. Who ended up with the most sugar? Are you guys good poker players? Wrigley, I'll start with you. Did you have any success with the poker?
I didn't play the poker.
Okay.
That wasn't me.
All right. Max, did you win anything?
I won a couple hands, but I will say Landon Potts is by far the best poker player, and he definitely had the most sugar at the end.
And hopefully that helped him on the field the next day as well. Before I let you guys go, some more fun questions. Do you guys? I think baseball is superstitious. I think there's a lot of superstitions. I talked to Coach when you guys were on before, and I don't think he said you guys had a lot of superstitions. Wrigley, I'll start with you. Are you a superstitious baseball player? And if so, what are the superstitions that you have?
I wouldn't say I'm very superstitious. I'm more like a routine. I kind of have my routine before a game, and I need to stick to my routine.
Is there anything weird in your routine, or is it just certain routines?
Never have I been superstitious, but before each state game, my mom packed me a ham and cheese sandwich folded up in between a plate, and before every game, all three of them, and I would give her a hug, and I would give Jackson's mom a hug before every game at the state tournament, only the state tournament.
I like it. Hey, they got you guys to the state championship game. Before I let you go, Wrigley, looking back at this senior season, what are you going to remember the most? And you can't say the state championship game. What is it about this team that you'll remember the most moving on to college baseball and beyond that?
I think just how close, I guess, we were, like the entire team. It wasn't just the senior class. It was the entire team. We're all kind of best friends, and it was really fun going to practice every day and kind of just being able to hang out basically with your friends every day.
Max, asking the same question. What is it about this team? What do you remember about this team the most, this season the most? Even?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to give the same answer. Just a great group of guys, 11 seniors. Highlights of the whole season, playing in Busch Stadium, traveling with each other, just hanging out, like Wrigley said. It doesn't really get better than that.
Max, you're playing college baseball next year. Where are you going? I know it's a newer program, but exciting to be part of a newer program. What's next year look like for you?
Yeah, I'm just excited for the fresh start. I'm going to Northeast Iowa Community College in Piasta. So we're looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And Wrigley, you're going to Kirkwood to begin your college baseball career. I wanted to circle back around. You are the MAC Player of the Year. This conference is loaded with good players. What did it mean to get that award and to be the MAC Conference Player of the Year?
Yeah, it feels really good. It kind of just makes me kind of feel, I guess it's a testament to my work in the off season. There's always kind of a goal. I really wanted it last year. I wasn't able to get it, and I really wanted it this year. And I worked really hard in the off season, and I was able to kind of, I guess, get it.
When do you guys move? You guys got to be getting ready to pack up and go, aren't you, Max?
Yeah, I move in on the 14th, so here in 2 weeks, I think.
Or at least a little bit of time to enjoy summer before you guys get rolling. What about you, Wrigley? When do you head out?
I believe I move in the 12th.
All right. I love it. Well, I appreciate both of you guys. Like I told Coach, I texted him frequently during your guys' run. I was out east and just glued to my phone watching what was going on. You represented the Quad Cities. You represented Bettendorf fantastically, and the MAC as well. Best of luck in college, and we'll talk to you both again real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Max Davison and Wrigley Matthys from the Bettendorf baseball team, state runners-up this year. A heck of a lot to be proud of. We got more to get to. Football season is right around the corner, and there's a new look for the Moline football program, and it has a lot to do with their stadium and the field itself. We'll talk with Mike Morrissey next, right here on Off the Air. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with.
For the first time in 18 years, playoff football is back in the Quad Cities. Saturday, August 2nd at 3 p.m., your Quad City Steamwheelers take to the ex-USD field at Vibrant Arena in a winner-go-home battle to see who advances to the Eastern Conference Championship. Tickets start at just $10, and the energy is going to be off the charts. Don't miss out on a moment 18 years in the making. Get your seats now at steamwheelersfootball.com/playoffs, and let's pack the house.
Or call 563-514-1470 and book your mobile party experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. First show back after a long vacation, and I figured I'm going to be dragging my butt, and I need something to liven up the show a little bit. And when I think of life, I think of Mike Morrissey, head coach of the Moline Maroons. Hi, my friend. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
I appreciate you doing this because this is your first time on the show. Like I was at WQAD through football season and then didn't launch till January. I'm excited about the football season, man, especially with this show, the amount of coaches I can talk to, the amount of things we can do during it. I'm excited about football season, and I'm not even a head coach. How excited are you for high school football season, less than a month away?
I think everybody's getting excited. And obviously, I want to address the fact that it's taken this long to get me on this show, which I'm a little upset about, but we'll talk about that later. But no, I think honestly, like the energy and the excitement as you get closer to August just starts to build for every program, around the Quad Cities. And obviously having another media resource and somebody that's been a mainstay here in the Quad Cities like yourself to kind of be able to give a different perspective and a different angle on things and touch base with coaches, this fall, I think just brings, more exposure to our programs and our kids and different coaches. And it just makes it an exciting time for everybody.
I appreciate you saying that. And I'm excited too, because it's going to look different for me, I think, this year. I've had my wife, my kids ask me like, what's your Friday nights going to look like? And I think they'll look kind of similar. I'm going to be out of games. I'm not going to be sitting at home, but like, I think the beauty thing is what people love right now is they love the Friday nights, but they love the lead up to it. And they love the post of it and like talking about it and like what happened and how it happened. And that's the beauty thing is, and with the help of View from the West, Greg Armstrong, Mitch Stormer, those guys, partnering up with them this football season, do a lot of fun things. So it'll be a ton of fun. But the main reason, besides the fact that you are known as the best looking coach in the Quad Cities, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but is the fact that you've got maybe the best looking field right now in the Quad Cities. So I want to talk to you about that a little bit because you guys have a brand new field at Browning Field. And I'll start with this. It's about damn time. How excited are you? I know we've had so many conversations about this throughout the past several years. Yeah. How excited are you to know that you're going up to a field that looks the way it looks right now?
I think the excitement from not only myself, but our entire staff and our kids, this group that gets to experience it right off the bat is pretty incredible. And, it is about time, obviously. Like, we've wanted it for a long time. And I'm actually an advocate for grass. If you have a really nice grass field, I love it. It's awesome. But the maintenance on it, and then just the ability for us to kind of branch out and let our middle schools and our youth programs and all these people get on the same field and not have to worry about the wear and tear of it really kind of puts us at more of a peace of mind than we've had previously. Our practice field here at the high school, it's the only practice field that we have, and all of our levels practice on it. Our junior Maroons practice on it and play on it. It has taken a beating over the last 4 years, and it's almost a liability, to be honest, at this point, because it doesn't get a whole lot of water except when it rains and things like that, because we don't have a system out there. So we're in major need of it, and honestly, it looks gorgeous. Like, it just pops out at you. I cannot wait for that first Friday night when we get out there and you actually get it under the lights and people get to see and experience this thing. It's been a long time coming. I know our kids are excited, and then from a even a coach's standpoint, to not have to worry about lines or not have, like, those little things that you think, oh, that's not a big deal. Well, yeah, it is a big deal. Like, it is a big, and like getting the grass cut, because our maintenance guys have a million other things to do here at the school. So, it does kind of put you at a peace of mind for that. And obviously the fact to be on a new field, and be the first group on this new field, I think these kids are pretty pumped about it.
Moline's Mike Morrissey joining me right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I go back to COVID, and I was trying to find work, because the more we did in sports, the less chance we would get pulled to news to go do something, and there wasn't a lot of sports going on. And I did a fun countdown of the best stadiums in the Quad Cities. People voted. There was like 20 people that voted. It was a ton of fun. But I remember back then that there were 2 fields in the entire metro Quad Cities that didn't have field turf, and it was at North Scott Lancer Stadium. They now have turf, and yourselves. And I love North Scott's always looked great. And I'm not saying your guys' didn't because of maintenance and all that kind of stuff, but you're right. Like, I remember several times we'd get a nasty Friday night to start the season, and you guys would play, and then it would just be a mud field / grass pit. Logistics of it. I think people look at it and they think, wow, that looks nice. And it's about aesthetics. Talk about just the functionality of what this new turf kind of gives you guys.
Well, and that is the biggest thing. And I played at North Scott, even as a player at Pleasant Valley in high school, and their field was pristine. Honestly, like, when they did switch to turf, it shocked some of us a little bit, because they did have, arguably the nicest grass field in the state of Iowa, I would assume. But ultimately, like you said, the functionality of it from, okay, well, our high school teams are all practicing there. Then now all of a sudden our middle school teams can come over and play games there or practice there if need be when it's bad weather. And then again, like, your youth program now has the ability, if it's weather or whatever, to make it a special experience for them to play on the varsity football field. Like, those are things that we just did not have the ability to do. And I know, when you go back and you watch, like, the games from last year, especially this last fall for us, the Sterling commentator from their game made a comment like, wow, this field is rough. And it just was. And we didn't even have a lot of rain, but just the grass wasn't pulling. I mean, the first game of the year, we're playing Rockwood Summit from Missouri, and the freshman had the game first, and one of our kids makes a cut on the sidelines, and I am not kidding, a chunk of grass that big, just sod, just pops up out of the field, and we're like, yeah, we're in trouble, man. This thing is not going to make it. And it's not that we didn't have guys and people that put a bunch of time into trying to make it nice and to make it work. We did, but ultimately, like, money and resources have to go towards grass fields. I mean, it has to, and it has to be that way every single year, all year long, to make it look nice and to make it work where, you're not worried about a kid getting hurt or, like, obviously the sod just popping up all over the place. So, like, yes, it looks pretty, and we're we think that's cool, but really it's the functionality of being able to practice, having multiple levels practice on it every single day, not having to worry about the weather. There were days last year where it would just rain and we'd have to come inside for practice because we're like, well, we can't tear this thing up because it's our only practice field. And then we can't go over to Browning and practice because then we'll tear that one up. So like we're kind of stuck. So we're thankful, man. And it didn't pass like 7-0 in our board. I mean, it was a 4-3 deal. So I think those 4 board members that did vote for this thing, like come that first Friday night when they kind of see everything and see the excitement and, they should be applauded and they should be, definitely thanked for their forward thinking and their, just them putting the kids first and putting that safety piece of it first, like that means a lot. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to us as coaches. It means a lot to our kids. And then the future generations of Maroons that'll come through, believe me, it'll mean a lot to them too.
Forget thanking those guys. Let's call out the 3 that didn't. Let's know their names. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Mike Morrissey joining me right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. There is the aesthetic side of things. There is the look side of things that is obvious. And it's been on social media, some of the pictures. I've been out east for too long, and I've had people text me. 3 separate people texted me and said, have you been by Browning Field lately? It looks amazing. That's got to be cool too. You've had so much success, and you want the kids to, not that success gets you these things, but you want to give a program that's been successful the nice amenities that other schools are getting as well. Talk about the looks of things, because Coach, it looks really good. Don't mess it up. I'd be like no Gatorade around the field. No, I don't know how you can stain it or whatever, but I'm a dad. So like when anything's new and nice, I'm like, get away from it. Talk about the way it looks. It looks awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it really is. And obviously, I mean, going the different colors, every 5 yards just makes it pop a little more. A giant M in the middle of the field with a white outline, a maroon M with a white outline. The end zones have like a black interior, like green around the outsides, but a black like interior of it, which has Moline maroons on either side, and then on the west end, there's another like little mini field where our O-line, D-line guys are going to kind of practice, so they have some yard lines on that side, which I think is unique to most fields. Like a lot of them don't have that. We kind of stole that from a school in Kentucky that I saw that they had. I was like, wow, that's really neat, and makes it even more space that you can use with lining. But it's beautiful, and you definitely want to take care of it. And those are conversations with our kids that are like, hey, we were given this, like we need to show our appreciation by making sure we don't have gum out there. We don't have seeds. We don't have all that stuff. Like, unfortunately people in that neighborhood might not be able to walk their dog on the field anymore and kind of do their thing out there. But, it also kind of serves a purpose for other sports. Like in the wintertime, like this is something that, again, you don't think about really, but in the winter, or early springtime when, maybe there's additional rain on the baseball or softball fields, or there's still snow on the ground, like that stuff melts over there. So they can do some things to be functional over there as well. So I know it's football based, but I know even for track, when I was coaching track at Prairie and in different places, like we use the turf all the time, all the time to kind of to alleviate shin splints and some of the wear and tear that you take early in the track season when you're preparing your kids. So like, it is a football thing. I get it, but it doesn't just apply to these football kids. Like all these other sports will be able to use that thing and also be, kind of appreciative of what it provides for them. And I'm telling you, like I've been over there almost every day. Like I drive by there almost every single day just to kind of see the progress, because obviously I'm a little bit more excited than most, and I share the pictures with my family, and they're really, really excited. But the first night that the lights pop on and we're out there, and you just see everything. I mean, it gives a different feel. And like obviously having the concession stands and the bathrooms being built now at the same time, it just gives a whole new modern-ish look to our stadium. But you also still have, from the home side especially, you still have Wharton Fieldhouse in the background. You still have kind of that nostalgic piece to the tradition of what is Moline athletics. And, the new track that's going in will have some different colors and some different things that is not what it was. So, I mean, it's going to be beautiful, man. Like we are so excited to kind of see the finished product. And I think our community is going to be really excited too.
During that really good but long answer, Coach pointed out, don't let your dog crap on his new field. So anybody who heard that, don't let your dog crap on the new field. Please don't do that.
Off field, please.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a different level of security.
You mentioned bathrooms, Coach. I remember, and I'm an Alleman kid, and like going to a football game growing up even when I'm in like junior high, it was, you would go and that's where Alleman would play. They didn't have their own home field. So they would, if Rock Island was playing at home, they'd use Moline and vice versa. And so, but they didn't have, it was porta potties back then. You get bathrooms now. Yeah. That's a big deal. Yeah. If you want people to come out to your games, if you want better concessions, all those kind of things. I hate to say it because so we went to Fenway Park and we also went to Yankee Stadium. An awesome trip. And Fenway, great history, all those kind of things. And the Yankee Stadium, newer, 2007, I think, it had the history of it. You know what I mean? It had all those history and things you needed, but it had newer amenities, which made the fan experience nicer. And you need that on all levels, don't you?
Yes. Oh, I could not agree more. I mean, we obviously you're going to have to get comfortable in porta potties usually when you come to Browning Field. That's just the way it goes. And like we shared, before the game, because our locker room is basically a shed right over there, which is a whole other deal. But like we share that, like we're there, and like our porta potties, some of it we share with the visitors, like fans. I mean, we're right there. So like, even at halftime, like you're going over and you may get a couple side comments about things we're doing well or not doing well, like from the visitors, the fans right there. Like it was weird, man. And I get it, but like it's always been that way. And so we've been used to it. So you just don't, we don't really flinch at it. But, when you're just kind of waiting in line with others that from like Batavia or from wherever, that have come down or Glenbrook North, and they're just like, yeah, okay. So, you guys had a pretty good first half. It's like, yeah, I guess. Like you're having those conversations when you just want to get back to your team. But it's just what it was. It's how it's always been. And obviously we're thankful that we're going to have, handicap accessible bathrooms for everybody. And again, that first Friday will be a huge one because it's Sycamore comes to town, and they're a really good program. They've had a ton of success over the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, whatever. And it'll be fun. It'll be cool, for our community to kind of come out and see the field and everything else that's new about it. But like you said, almost like the Fenway experience, you still have what makes Moline. You still have that historic feel to it. You still have that community tie-in and like the park on that west side where kids can go and play and all that stuff. Like you still have that. So I think it's going to make kind of a unique fan experience still. I mean, to have the new stuff going up, but then also, like I said, Wharton right there, the park on the other side, like other things that just make it fun for really people of all ages. I know I'm sounding like in a music park, but like that's pretty much what it is. Like it's going to be a pretty cool place. We're really excited about it.
No, Bobry Field, Geneseo, to give another high school a ton of credit. They did a great job of keeping the traditions and keeping the victory bell and the certain things you need. And it feels like you go out there and it feels like you're reliving Geneseo history and the historical traditions, but you have a really nice field and really nice lights and all the kind of things. So yeah, I think there's a perfect balance, and I'm excited to see what happened at Browning Field. Let's talk a little football. Obviously the Maroons are going to go 9-0, probably a state championship. No pressure. I know you like your guys, and you like them every year, and you should. But like, I know you like this group. What do you like about this group as you guys get ready? What is it? Is August 11th? You guys get rolling for real?
Yeah, we start August 11th.
So you get like one more week to kind of chill a little bit, and then you're going to get, not that you're chilling or anything like that. I get it. But practice starts soon. I know you've seen them during the summer. What do you like about this group heading into the fall?
It pretty much is the same blueprint that we've had over the last, I guess since I've been here going on 9 years. Like, I mean, we have blue collar, hardworking kids. We really do, and they don't worry about what we're doing schematically necessarily as much as it's like, hey, how can we become the best players that we can be fundamentally and get after it and represent our school and our community and everything the right way. So we do bring a lot of guys back with experience. We do have a lot of places where we got to fill some spots, and we need guys to step up, and we may have some skill guys going both ways more than we have previously, just because of their ability level and the fact that we need to have them on the field. But I think they embrace that challenge. I think that's what's cool about our kids. Like there's really not anybody that's like, oh, I'm above this or I'm above that. I mean, our guys pretty much buy into things, and I think that's just a credit to the example that they've had previously from all these guys that have been here. Like even over the course of the summer, we've had Grant Sibley and Matthew Bailey and Xander Ely and Alec Ponder and all these guys. Like they all come back. They, a banker and all. They all come back to see us practice. They all come back to just be around it. And that stuff is priceless, man. Like the wins are great. We talk about this. I know it's super cliche with things, but like you talk about winning on Friday nights and like that's fun, that's great, and everybody gets excited about that stuff. But when these guys want to come back and be around this thing all the time, and I'm talking all the time, even graduates from last year, like they were showing up to our joint practices and things like that before they go off and do their thing. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's what really matters in the grand scheme of things. And I think this group, that we have coming through this year sees that stuff all the time. And I think they'll do the exact same thing. We'll have a bunch that go on to play college football from this senior class for sure. And I think their tie into the program has been tremendous. And I think that's exciting. And these guys really get after it and they challenge each other. And they know you got to start to eliminate those, especially mentally, physically, you have to go all the time, but you got to start to kind of tone back on the mistakes here and there and kind of figure out what your identity is on both sides of the ball. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now, is kind of figuring out what we've done well in the summer and then jumping right into that come August 11th.
I want to talk to you about the league real quick before I let you go, because usually, and we'll talk about the Western Big Six banquet too, but usually I ask you, Western Big Six banquet lies, like, who's going to, like, what do you look? But I really think you look at this league this year and it's going to be really good. It's going to be a challenge. And I know your non-conference is always a challenge and all those kind of things. You mentioned Sycamore, but talk about the league, because Quincy, really good last year. I think they're going to be good again this year. Obviously they lose some explosive parts, but I think Coach Little's done such a really good job there. They're going to be good again. I'm excited about what Coach Welch is doing and at UT and Sterling's always good. And I can go down the line. I'm going to get upset because people are going to text me and say, why didn't you mention my team? But anyways, talk about the Western Big Six as a whole, because I do think it's going to be an intriguing league race. And I think it's going to be good, where there's going to be some teams that are going to impress this fall as well. What are your thoughts of the Western Big Six?
It reminds me a lot of 2017, where you just didn't know. I don't think there was an absolute favorite coming into it. I think you had a lot of really good teams. I think Quincy is still very talented. I think they have a ton of kids and they have a system right now in place that is really that fits their kids, fits their personnel, fits their kind of their culture and what they're doing. UT, I think, is literally as talented as anybody else. This is probably the first year, and I know they've kind of gotten better and better as the years have gone through, but I think this year they're as talented as anybody in our entire conference. And that starts with up front, with their skill guys, with everybody. I think Galesburg will be improved. I know that Geneseo will be improved because it's a second year under Matt, and he just does a tremendous job. So you'll see jumps from them. Sterling is always going to be competitive. Whether you think, they lost a bunch of guys or they're not, like, they're always going to be competitive because they're extremely well coached and they just do everything the right way. So they're always going to be in that mix. Galesburg, I definitely think, is going to be a step forward. They had a really good freshman class that I think is going to, and then they'll rely on a lot of those guys probably as sophomores. So they'll take their lumps here and there, but I still think they're going to be better than what people have seen. Rock Island, their speed factor is always in play. They do like to do some different things. They're going to throw the ball and threaten you vertically. So, like, you have to prepare for that, because if you don't, you're going to get beat by a long ball. And then obviously Alleman will kind of wait and see, what ends up happening with that group. But the fact that they're playing again is awesome. So I don't think that there's any pushovers necessarily. This year, I think everybody's going to be at least competitive, which also makes it where on a Friday night, if you don't show up ready to play, like, you're going to be in a battle. Even if you are, considered a better team or the better team, I just don't think it works that way. And I think it's because of different things, like Geneseo's scheme and what they do, the talent that UT has and their balance with things, Quincy being able to spread the ball and threaten you horizontally and vertically, Galesburg being young but really athletic, and then Sterling obviously having a system that they've run for a very long time, being very good at it. So, like, you don't just sit there and say, we're just going to show up, or Rock Island's just going to show up over here at Browning Field and we feel we're better, so we're going to win. Nothing is going to be like that this fall. I really don't believe that. And I know, we've said that in the past, but I think last year and even the year before, Quincy was the clear-cut favorite. I mean, they were super talented. They did some really good things. They were the best team in the conference the last 2 years, and I don't think it was even really that close. I think this year, it's more balanced. I really do. I believe that. And again, like it was in 2017, where if you didn't show up, like, you were going to be in some trouble and you were going to battle some teams and you just didn't know who was going to beat who. I think it's very similar. I think it's going to be very, very similar this year. And that's really, a credit to the conference with the coaches that we have in this league and their ability to adapt and kind of fit things to their personnel and continue to really be forward thinkers as far as what they're trying to do schematically. It's going to make it fun. It's going to make it really, really fun. And you won't want to miss a Friday night, in your community where you can go out and support your kids. Absolutely.
Before I let you go, because I think August is a ton of fun. For me, it used to be going around to as many many practices as I could get to with Cuff and Celia or Camille, whoever was with me, Greg, and get previews. And now I'm excited to talk with some coaches throughout the month. But we've got two kind of banquets or get-togethers for the Western Big Six. I want to start August 17th. I'm really excited because partnering with View from the West, we're going to have down at the Other Bar in Moline, maybe a little more casual. And I should
style,
say that
man.
because
I like it.
Because the Western Big Six banquet I've turned into a low class event myself just because I MC it. But no, I'm kidding. That's a great event. I mean that in the nicest way. It's a great event. But we'll start on August 17th.
Yes.
We'll go down to the Other Bar. A bunch of coaches from the area is coming together. We're gonna have a live show there at 5 o'clock to 7. So get out there, come check out some high school football, get ready for the season, have some food, get some drink, all that kind of stuff. And then the Western Big Six banquet. I think it's really a good idea that they moved it from a Wednesday night where you guys are running over from practice and all of those kind of things as well. That's August 24th. I know it's not this. The old school used to be go to the Western Big Six banquet because that's where you're going to find out all your information because internet and social media and all that kind of stuff doesn't exist. A little different now, but I think it's going to be a great night. And we have fun. I mean, we literally, I make fun of you guys. I think I kill it. I think I love, sometimes I go too far. I already got some really good ones. I already got some, I'm really excited. I may have texted you one, I might have.
Yeah, maybe one or two.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Talk about that because you guys do get along. I think it's kind of cool that you guys do, I think, like each other. If you don't, you really do a good job of pretending. It's a fun event, isn't it, to get together on August 24th and on a Sunday night now, not a weekday?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to make it a million times easier, I think, for all of us as coaches, especially guys like, like Rick that's down in Quincy. For him to be able to make that trip on a Sunday is so much easier. But we really do all get along. We do. And I know, there's rivalries and obviously there's competitiveness for sure with all of us. But, I think the fact that we all respect each other and the truth is, like, when we make the playoffs or when teams make the playoffs, I think there's a genuine feel of like we want them to be successful. I think that's not necessarily the case in certain places. And I've talked to, like a buddy of mine that's over on the Iowa side. He's just like, man, I don't really talk to any other coaches. Like it's weird. It's like a weird feel. Like there's really not like a closeness. There's almost like a weird vibe to things. And it's just like, I get it. Everybody's competitive. Okay. On a Friday, like, yes, we want our team to be better without question. We want to win. We want to be successful. We want our kids to win and to have that feel. But the truth is, like, when push comes to shove and they make the playoffs, like, yeah, man, I want Matt Furlong to make a freaking run. Like, I genuinely love Matt. Matt's a really good friend of mine. I want him to win. Like, yeah, did I not like Nick Welch for a long time? Sure, I didn't. But, like, now I'd like – I'm kidding. Like, I want Nick to win. I want him to make the playoffs. I want them to make the playoffs. I want them to win a playoff game. Like, those things are good. They're good for our community. They're good for the Friday night games in our league because if everybody's competitive – then it makes the games more fun and it makes that feel on a Friday night, like, mean a little bit more. And like, there's nothing that you can do to replace that, like in a high school football atmosphere. It just makes it so much more fun. And obviously I'm super psyched about that deal on the 17th. Like, I think our coaches are even more excited. Like, look, you get a bunch of high school football coaches in a bar, like somewhere, like that's going to be a good time. And there's going to be some jabs and there's going to be some fun. And I think like that, we're a sweatshirt and shorts kind of crew here, which is exactly what we're talking about on that setting. So, I mean, our guys are pumped to go to something like that. And then just like, honestly, be able to sit back and not have that like, okay, well, we're playing you on a Friday. So when we show up to the stadium, like, we're really not going to talk to you guys much because we got to focus in. Like, now you get to sit back and just hang out with these guys, see them in a different setting because we're pretty much all the same, man. We all kind of have the same feel. We all do the same type of things and are into the same type of things. And so you're not sitting there like, okay, thinking about how you're trying to beat this guy on a Friday night or beat this crew like on a Friday night. Like, you're just hanging out. Like, you're hanging out. You get to talk a little trash in a good way and do your thing. Like, come on, that's really what it's supposed to be about. And you want these guys to be successful. I think that's the cool part. And I think our league as a whole, I think really we do want the best for everybody.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I got to be honest with you, Coach, because we went to tee it up at my dad's golf outing this summer, and I look over there, and there's Nick Welch in orange teeing it up, and I look over, and there's John Schlemmer. He's teeing it up, and he's got his, and I'm like, man. Like Mike Morrissey refuses. I mean, I know that maybe my dad wasn't a good enough human being. That's the way I look at it. Is that my
come on, the guilt trip is real here.
No, hey, so right now
enough.
they have an advantage when it comes to the banquet right now, because I probably have to go a little easier on them. I'm not gonna go easy on them, but I'll be a little nicer maybe.
And that's all the more reason why I'm going to push for Corey Cuffler to take this thing over. Like Corey would be unbiased all the way.
You know what?
Ever would say
Cuff could take it over. Nobody would know. No one had ever. Hey, Coach, I tell people all the time, the beauty thing about doing this new gig is I wear this headset. So like my ears don't like I go from being like a 6, I'm a 10. Like, I'm right up there with you and Welch and all those. Have you seen Welch lately? Dude, he's lost.
He does. He looks great.
I mean, he might be giving you a run for your money when it comes to
not that
coach.
Not that great. He looks great. Let's not get carried away. I did say when I saw him this summer, I was like, dude, you look phenomenal, man. And not like, seriously, he does. He looks super healthy. Obviously, he's jumped into something a little bit different from that perspective, kind of getting after it, which is awesome. Because he looks good.
Well, but
he looks really, really good.
Like he's got a beautiful family. He's got a new baby. He's got another little one. Yes. His wife is a beautiful woman. And then here's him. He didn't fit in. He was like some mongoloid in this nice looking family. And now he's trying to fit in better. That could get me in trouble. That could get me in trouble. What I just said.
The Jordans only went, the Jordans can only take you so far. Like, oh, you're wearing Jordans, that's cool, but like, something's not right. No, he looks really good. He's done a great job. And obviously, part of coaching, obviously, is taking care of yourself, and with all the stress and other things that kind of come into play, like. You got to find an outlet to kind of take care of that stuff.
It's easy to eat fast food late at night and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
Trust me. I've known, and I'm not tooting my own horn because I think I probably put half it back on the East Coast, but since getting out of the news business, I've lost 20 pounds, and it's just simply different lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it's like being late practices, grabbing food on the way home. Like it was do the 10 o'clock news and then shoot, I didn't eat tonight. Well, what's open? Oh, Taco Bell's the only thing that's open down the hill. Okay, fine, I'll get that and all that. So, anyways, Coach, I'm gonna get ready for the text messages. By the way, we mentioned Coach Schlemmer. You look nice too, John. I don't want him to get cranky or anything.
Yeah, he does.
So he's a handsome older fellow. So, all right, my friend. Well, I appreciate you.
I do want to say,
yeah.
Before you let me go, I want to say I appreciate you having me on this show. Okay, before someday like the Detroit Lions steal you away and things like that, and all of a sudden you're forgetting the little people here in the Quad Cities. Like, I do appreciate being on and being able to be a part of this because you're the man, and we love you. So I appreciate that.
Coach, you've always been way too good to me, especially in my swan song last fall. Extremely nice to me. I always appreciate you. If you need anything, let me know. I can't wait to chat a lot during the summer. Don't mess it up. You got a nice field, good team. Don't just rely on Gorgel to do all the hard work. Will you do that? Just let him do.
It's worked for 30 years here, man. We're not going to change that.
All right, Coach. I appreciate you. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. That is head coach Mike Morrissey over at Moline High School. If you're driving past Browning Field and you see that beautiful new stadium, it's not new stadium, but new field turf. It's going to look fantastic. I think it's them in Assumption on like the 22nd, and then they open with Sycamore on the 29th. So exciting times for Moline. We got more to get to. You're watching Off the Air on a Thursday, and I'm just back from vacation. So we're grinding through a Thursday right here on Off the Air. We'll be right back.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, and months to follow. Fresh off vacation, back from a great trip out east. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Pat Anger will join me tomorrow. We'll get into all that good stuff. I was surprised. I think I like New York style pizza better than Chicago style pizza. I never thought I'd be that way. So a lot to get to. We went to Fenway Park. We went to Yankee Stadium. Which one's better? All that kind of stuff. It was a great trip. Unfortunately, as I mentioned to start the show, came back to a bunch of water in my basement, but it wasn't because of the rain, which is probably good news. But anyways, we're getting everything taken care of, but you could tell it's been a first day back from vacation type of day. Some internet stuff going on, some slow connections. We're going to get a clean feed of this entire show out to everybody here at the end of the show. For all the people watching YouTube wise, X wise, we'll get a fresh, clean feed out here in just a little bit to watch throughout the next 24 hours as well. We mentioned it to start the show. The Quad Cities Steamwheelers are back at home for a playoff game for the first time since 2007. 18 years, which seems crazy to me because it's an amazing franchise, plenty of success, but just the way things have fallen, and they made a run to the championship game a few years ago. Did so by doing it on the road the entire time. They're back at home. It's been an exciting season. They clinched the number 1 seed. They've had a ton of success. Super exciting team. The crowd support's been great all season. There's been a buzz about this team. I've talked about it throughout the entire season, and I want it to continue. A lot of people want it to continue. Everybody wants to see it continue this weekend. First home game, playoff game. They host Jacksonville at 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Get down to Vibrant Arena. Coming up tomorrow on the show. We moved Doug Bland to tomorrow. So tomorrow on the show, Doug Bland will join us to talk all about postseason football for the Quad City Steamwheelers, the events that are going on, the giveaways, all those kind of things, how you get tickets and all those kind of stuff. Get down there, get them ordered. It should be a great game. The Wheelers in Jacksonville on Saturday. I believe I may take my kids down there for a little bit. So should be a fantastic day. At least some of my kids. I don't know all of them. But at least some of them that don't have stuff going on to get down there. Baseball season's over. Football season hasn't started yet. High school-wise, you have no excuse. Get down there. Enjoy a great game coming up against the Wheelers and Jacksonville on Saturday. We mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Excited to take the show on the road next week. Next Friday, we'll be live from Iowa Football Media Day. So it'll be a different time for the show. I'm guessing 2 to 4-ish. Something along those lines. We'll know for sure here soon. I'll get a better map of the day. I know it's lunch, and then Kirk's maybe at 1. So I'm guessing by 2 we'll be able to go live from where we're going to go from. So excited about that. We'll have much more on that tomorrow and then next week as well. So get that locked on your calendar. Also, coming up on August 17th is the View from the West kickoff party down at the Other Bar. We're helping out with that, partnering with View from the West, of course, starting a new partnership, River Rivals Media. So it'll be a ton of fun. Get down there 5:00. We'll do a show from down there, talk to local coaches, all that kind of stuff. Get you set for the football season. Also, the Western Big Six Coaches Banquet is at the Botanical Center on Sunday night, August 24th, which is a great move on their part, getting it out of Wednesday night, moving it to a weekend, giving coaches a better chance to get there, fans a better chance to get there. So still 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that. Botanical Center, August 24th. We'll get you set for that as we move on as well. We want to thank Wrigley Matthys and Max Davison from Bettendorf from coming on the show today. They finished second in the state runner-up, Bettendorf baseball this past week. Or last week, I should say. Congratulations to them. Mike Morrissey, we want to thank him for being on the show today. And like I mentioned, a lot more to get to tomorrow. Pat Anger on the show tomorrow. Greg Armstrong on the show tomorrow. Doug Bland on the show tomorrow. A jam-packed show for you tomorrow. Trade deadline going on. Nothing for the Cubs as of yet. Shane Bieber from Cleveland going to Toronto. The Cubs did pick up a pair of pitchers yesterday, relief pitchers most likely, in late night trades last night, but waiting for that big move for the Cubs. See if they do that sometime today as well. Well, of course, we want to thank our guests. We want to thank you guys for watching. And of course, we want to thank our amazing partners that allow us to do this show each and every day right here in the Quad Cities, hoping to add some more in the next couple days and weeks as well. But Mobile Party Experience, some fun things coming up with them real soon. Quad City Steamwheelers, we mentioned that. Snoop is the best. Hungry Hobo. I'm going to Hobo probably sometime today to get some food because we have no food in our house, coming back from vacation. I've just been craving it. Rafferty Funeral Home, fantastic family-run company and funeral home right here in the Quad Cities. Kevin Rafferty, one of the best in the business. And then my guy, Andy Furman, who I'm hoping, Andy, if you're listening to this all the way through, Godfather's the place to be. I'm hoping to take Andy with me to Iowa City next Friday, kind of be my right-hand man and help me out with some stuff in Iowa City. So anyways, thank you to our sponsors and our partners for allowing us to do this show. Vacation over, another show tomorrow, and we rock and roll next week. Thanks so much for watching Off the Air on a Thursday right here in the Quad Cities.